إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط ورثا واسعا مباركا وأنت وسعة البدن اللهم افتح قلوبنا بالعلم أعوذ بالله وملائكته يصلون على النبي الذين آمنوا صلى الله عليه وسلم تسليما صلى الله تعالى عليه وعلى آله.
Amen. May the good Lord have mercy upon us today. May He grant us favor and renewed strength. May He turn our mourning into dancing. His abundant grace be made available and sufficient unto us, and may we continue to press on.
Good morning, Mr. Witness. May I remind you that you are still under oath, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Madam Chair, I hand over the witness for us to proceed.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Good morning.
Raised in the internal audit reports. So the commissioners will release you for another date. Now, let me draw your attention to the auction sale at the council.
There are several auctions that take place at the council from 20.
How many? Can you recall?
I think it's about 3 or 4 auctions. Normally, before the auction start, we will engage come and evaluate all the items.
Yes.
So from there too, they will engage an auctioneer, a print media for.
Yes. But that is supposed to be, would you be submitted with a report?
I think the deputy admin director, Mr. Wuraba, normally used to be in custody with some of, because he normally lead the process. Before the auction, when evaluator service is needed,
yes.
In fact, before that time, because normally there are items there, but they say that the items that were ready to be auctioned, the day of the missing.
Yes.
Yeah, but to get an evidence or an official report, I never have that.
It never happened. Auction sales at the council. This has to do with the auction sales exercise on council old vehicles.
For the person, but I learned that one of them passed away. Is it the auctioneer or the evaluator? But there was some.
For instance, you have a metallic rectangular beam. The assessment, the total would be $3,000. The buyer was one Ibrahim Pen, 1690. It was assessed with the engine and gearbox, but trucks together were sold on how we found them at a price of $260,000 each. Do you know how many trucks there were? The idea that it was not functional. This conversation is strictly about being within our mandate to look into the how it was bought, the amount that was spent, and so on. An assessment done, and evaluation done for.
Yeah, rendered first. From there, an auctioneer will. Yes, I will ask the management to help me with it.
Beams missing. What have you done?
That rumor about these missing items,
yes,
to help us to investigate.
Okay.
Yes.
Now it was investigated.
The report was never been presented to my committee.
So nothing was done about it.
Investigate.
Yes.
After the investigation,
the authorities, the auditor is answerable to this the council. So the council, which is done in this case, the Lord Mayor's office.
Yes, at that time, after the response, after the final audit, and then it should have.
It should be brought to your attention.
Yes, it should have been brought to our attention, but I'm 100% sure.
You cannot confirm that. That's it. But you cannot say whether the Deputy Chief Executive Officer received facts. And the facts are all these three units we are dealing with. Memo, and it was sent through from the Internal Audit Department. Is that correct?
So by this time too, I think we were
Looking for which year was it? 2022.
was around that time.
But we are in 2024 still Audit Department. 90% or
Lead Counsel, if you can allow me to protest on this point.
okay. Which point is that?
About the functions of the committees.
Yes.
If you had
Yes.
and then the head of the administration, not the office of the Lord Mayor.
Yes.
The Lord Mayor are these committees, and these committees are the ones that normally brief the Lord Mayor weekly, daily, for reasons.
Yes.
So for Ross to take the blame, why a particular committee was not fortunate to be back again,
Yes.
to be re-elected by his people again,
Yes.
and then after our election too, a new committee was set. Yes,
Did you say that?
yes.
And I go by
General
council.
Counsel, yes.
Good. And in doing so, the internal auditor, and it's because the Lord Mayor is the head of council, and so your committee, respective authorities, it should be communicated to you. That's what the law, the Audit Act, that you should look into internal audit reports strictly by what the law says, or is unacceptable to have several internal audit.
Yes, when reports are out,
Yes.
action should be taken, and then it is to our interest. And then for us to, as a council,
Yes.
we
Oh. The auditor has done what he, so that we see what the role of the auditor is. It's very important. Go.
the internal auditor is directly responsible and answerable to the council and should provide a service to him. He shall submit all his reports to the council through the local government account committee. Through
Yes.
the local government account committee.
Yes.
Which was part of the account committee, like I said before we go
Yes.
to the election.
Yes.
So on the letter, it was copied to our committee.
No.
And then the CEO never brought it to our attention.
Why are you stopping at that? Exactly what is the fact? The fact is 3 offices were copied. You are also a member of council. Proceed as well. Say the mayor's office didn't forward to our office as well. That is Deputy Chief Executive Officer, Accounts and Audit Committee. That's what the evidence is. And you have read this.
Yes, lead counsel, I just want director
Yes.
to investigate this situation.
Yes.
Because key among these items we are talking about,
Yes.
it is our staffs were building before the demolition, and then during the demolition too, we find out that some of these items were missing. So that,
Yes.
because even the securities that were on the ground,
Yes.
I think 2 of them were once arrested by the municipal police, from the municipal police. But still we don't, because we are so concerned about these missing items. But unfortunately, we went to an election. The time we come back, we were unable to go. I was into so many, there are a lot of things that distract me. Yesterday I explained before going to court about those issues.
Sorry about that.
Yes,
But
thank you. Says that because after we were, who should be acting on this report the time we were away.
Yes.
Later on, I mentioned since 2018 towards 2023 or 2020 to cooperate with us. Yes.
Aside distractions and all these possible problems that you have had in council, the funds appointed, the ones that are either nominated or elected will pass through that process.
Yes.
That forms council.
Yes.
Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Yeah, so we agree that it's one of the lapses.
Stems from the from the annex.
Do you think action should have been taken?
Yeah, action should have been taken.
Was action taken?
The only action that was been taken,
Yes.
the municipal police was so, but now the report was out.
Yes.
Unfortunately, it was not brought to my attention.
Yes.
Till today, we will act on it, inshallah.
When you go back, but my point is, you have an internal audit report.
We should have acted on it.
And you haven't acted on it.
Yes.
Is that a failure?
I cannot count it a failure because I give reference to events that happen.
So if you have problems and your problems are such that you cannot perform, you can't have it 100%, can you? You can never have it 100%.
No, because if a step was taken, if that's what
report, that's what I'm saying.
It will be difficult for me to say that we failed.
Why? Not as a let me give you a letter addressed to the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Lands, Regional Reports.
Director of Internal Audit.
Yes.
May I bring department?
Yes.
Section 26, subsection 2 of the Finance and Audit Act. I am disappointed to mention that the current internal audit failed in his. He has also admitted that he does not have what it takes to do the job. Please, in light, I hear of the Establishment and Appointment Committee to the Ministry for Action. Buy a copy of this massive most.
So what is that letter about?
For the replacement of our former internal audit
and the grounds
to be replaced by
to the Permanent Secretary, correct?
Yes.
Is that position entirely fair and correct?
I would say it is fair for him to be replaced because he proved to it that he cannot do it. Yes.
He sat here and I remember telling him my opinion to provide reports or quarterly reports. Now, would that be true? Yes.
I don't know what the reasons are. And then for him also.
So it would not be correct to say that he was not providing the true sum. From the entire team to the Lord Mayor's office. Let me go. You have as director, the list goes on. And by the way, can I please have, you have as director, the list goes on. And by the way, can I please have the document? The list goes on, internal audit.
The one,
yes.
The deputy,
yes, there are so many reports, several reports.
Yes.
Which you never acted on. That is a fact. So for the requirement, it has to be quarterly, the majority of those reports. That is also a fact.
As a councillor at KMC and then a chairman of reports, but not all the reports.
Now let me take you to the So this we confirm that some of the sheets were being used by the council. Do we know?
Earlier.
Yes.
The time the building was demolished.
Yes.
And then the information with this person, and then I think I once have this information. I will try and then it was a surprise to us that we find out that key of these items were missing. So
yes. The air conditioners were all withdrawn by the council for office use. Do we have record
for that? Some of the air conditioners were moved.
Talk about the municipal police, for instance. It says Corporal Usman Kamara, the driver of municipal police. So many issues in relation to the issue regarding the Mbalit. The total summary of sales and deposits of period towards secretaries is $14,837,955. Now the $1,681,775. Was this known to you?
I found suppressing this revenue we are asked to pay it, and then I'm sure all of them already settled their life. The internal auditor engagement with the normally supposed to take these deposit slips to the auditor.
Yes.
For verification. No, I'm just trying to explain something.
Yes, go ahead, sir.
So they will take this clearance to the account.
Yes.
Another tickets will be unable to present this receipts. But when they go to the accounts for the paid, it's around $1.
Yes.
So most of them will come and then recover their receipts, and it was presented to the internal auditor. But there are others in this audit report. Some of them, their service were not needed after the projects.
Yes, but my point is as serious as, in fact, I always say the amount, you will agree with me, does not matter. When you still want a member of council and also member of the this important committee
level, we ask them to pay the money. So
go ahead. Do you agree with me that you don't have any documentation at council level to show?
I lost that one, but I will try and search my documents.
Yes.
Any documents that are related to this.
Take you to the police?
I was not aware of that.
Okay. So what were you aware?
It was reported by his line manager.
Yes.
To the finance director.
Yes.
And then a memo was something thousand. I cannot actually remember the entire figure.
Yes.
So later on, he says that he has some family problems.
On it will be very helpful. Let us first have it. We admit it.
A letter dated the 8th of September 2022, Council, and the subject is apology letter. The letter is signed by Salifu Sisi.
Yes, you may read the letter after it is submitted.
I've used the money because I have an emergency family problem to solve the problem. Furthermore, I'm ready to pay the monies because it was not, but our own level, based on our engagement to not be dealing with cash, and then for him to pay the money, we can see what disciplinary action they can take against him.
Is that the same recommendation for all the...
Any of our staff that is being caught with tampering?
Yes.
Secretaries normal. Most of these
6 people were found wanting to be redeployed to other areas where they want to have access to money. They give evidence, but then back up, then it's a problem. It's a problem. This is why I'm asking that, because Salifu...
It was a dismissal letter.
Yes.
Given to him.
Yes.
So therefore he is dismissed.
Did the others write an apology letter?
I cannot remember.
Do we have the same as well for others who will tell you in writing when they will pay the balance? Let me give you an example. We have Serekunda Bartes, Mariama Diba, and Fatou Jane, 520. The total variance, 100. Did they write a letter apologizing for this?
I'm never aware of.
Were they transferred?
I know one of the services were terminated.
I'm now giving you these 2 individuals, Mariama Diba and Fatou Jane, where they apologized.
I never saw the apology letter.
Did they explain to you how they got this? What they?
Yes.
But were they dismissed?
They are because after our engagement, he wrote this letter to this.
His case, standing alone, would be what I would do any day, any time. But where you have more than one individual, the same lot of others that you fail to dismiss and take the same action, would that not be discriminatory? You have Binta Jabang, her outstanding balance, Amadou Emel Jata, balance or thereabout. Total variation, or the balance yet to be settled, 106,890. Correct?
Yes.
Bintu Bojang was the secretary.
Yes.
She dismissed.
She was not dismissed.
Why?
I don't remember her apology letter.
So, the issue of settling the money, we will confirm that. 1,695 on. We have Old Bakau Cape Point, Senabu Drami, $7,380. Bakunda, Farun Jai, balance yet to be settled, 23,007. I see Lamin Diba. We have Musa Jame, $32,377. Lonon Kona, Amisisi.
Yesterday, there was an investigation that we did. These monies were settled.
All these monies were?
Settled.
The issue is not just settling the money. An individual, and that will not be the same treatment for a host of others.
Okay, what I'm missing? Because some of them, they lose their receipts. I explained to you the reason why during the...
When you have a receipt book, for instance, that your evidence is you have lost the receipt, how much should you pay?
I think there is an amount, $200. The time it happened, the secretary's complaint that came to me, I went to the former finance director's office, that is Serif Njai.
And whosoever they conspired with, either the collectors giving them money and this, that is counted. Back that down. Is that not? Does that not make sense?
So if you pay the actual value of that receipt, at the end of the
yes,
whilst your weekly receipt is being generated to so now if the receipt is being lost and then you pay the actual value of 5,000 again,
it must be paid because what may be said to have been a missing. I am saying that for some
we ascertain that, or we says that it is recognized as a. If you don't retire it, another ticket will not be issued to you.
If you don't?
If you don't retire it, another ticket will not be issued.
And then spend the money and say it is missing. The market vendor don't collect revenue, and the individual that has,
yes,
they pay, and that's it. So you give me 10 receipts, I go and then I sell this ticket, collect money, and I come and tell you.
Yes. In your council.
Yes.
Reference is KMC/GCM/06/ what did you resolve in trying to this issue?
Yes, this
No more anymore. It is something you deliberated at the level of council. Duplicate receipts have been given to the vendors to collect revenue. So now I am asking.
Committee level, we assign the market master to be collecting the daily. He should retire the duplicates to the store.
What I'm asking is that there has been some problem and the kids of the receipts to sell to the vendors, and it has been brought to your attention, and that they will not be in a position to use the duplicates, you understand, from then onwards.
They will be kept there weekly, and then our staffs will be sent there to.
It's collaborating with a particular collector, and you have asked that they submit this to the market master. In the event the market manager is collaborating with the collector, that it has been stopped. Because there should have been a system put in place such that when you have these duplicates, you know, it may just be in transit with the market master, and then yes.
So what we advise from that general...
We have seen that there have been no system put in place to be able, from market master to collector to supervisor, because going through the resolutions that you've had.
On some e-ticketing companies, so that our collectors will not be doing these manual tickets. Came to the council for presentation, but later on we were unable to start with the markets. We roll it along the way. There are issues that happen along the way. Around 2021, the project stopped, but still there is a binding contract of 5 years, and then they are left with. The company stopped doing the work since 2022 or tail end of 20.
And making sure that even if it means you paying a penalty for terminating the clause, if you are false, you can move on to the next level to get a system in place that would help you prevent, because it's more costly for you to prevent the fraud than to allow it to continue.
Our best, we stop our collectors not to be dealing with cars.
Okay. Yeah. London Corner made some observations about the dilapidated nature of Marsengelo. Has that market been rehabilitated?
We are trying to resolve it next year. It is there was an issue at Latrikunda market, so they said.
I said Marsengelo. The Council for London Corner made some personal pleas about the. Did the council take a step to address that situation?
The key areas where he thinks like our Department of Planning.
Like what?
I think the toilet condition is one of them, and then the seats. Their budget 2025 for us to renovate the entire market.
But the respected by council, is that correct? For all the councillors?
No, not all the councillors are, because the councillor that was there contested under the ticket under the National Assembly and elected, and then that she served for about 6 months or 7 months. She went for, and I think all the wards received 100,000 or 200,000. But at times, some councillors do have issues with their retirement. I cannot remember the actual figure unless I check my pay slip.
Okay. Yes, 3.
Those are the ones I can remember as of now. But I can actually my pay slip. I will be able to.
It's residential allowance.
I think.
Write down all the allowances and the amounts that you are paid with respect to those allowances. And that is across the board, from the mayor.
Been acting on the recommendations of the the national audit.
I was trying to make some amendment. There was one.
So 2017 to 19, correct?
Yeah, unless I check. Yes, here I saw only from 2019.
If only?
For the year ended 31st December 2019.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, there are recommendations. Staffs that are having issues with their files, or staffs that are not being qualified. But to our knowledge, the management failed to take action on and then the frequent changes of the CEOs.
Why would you really is that not the case? That is the fact. Correct?
Yes, the General Council suspended the CEO.
Yes, the CEO, your own CEO, sometime, because you had already taken a decision, and then the vacuum is created by council itself as quickly as possible.
Yes, but they end up being us.
Yes.
And then, in fact,
They had
sometimes they are in fact violating some of the protocols. No, the Local Government Act is designed through the, whatever is not stated there.
Yes.
For us to act on it will be difficult.
I agree. But who will decide that there is a violation and then you stop there? There is a process for everything. You have the local government courts are there. Repeat. Whether you did that rightly or wrongly is not the discussion. Now, because we will definitely look into that issue. But is that not the case?
Yes, in the absence.
It should be work in progress. Now, did you act on the recommendations of the 2018?
Ongoing investigation on this commission.
Yes.
I find out that key among them were not regularized. I responded, said that they
who is the management?
The management is the CEO, is the head of the management.
And the council?
Finance director.
Yes. So council has a role to play. And what is that role? With access to the advice. Did you advise?
Yes, at our own end, that's what we did, because the advice was at the committee level.
Which committee?
This was brought to our attention by the CEO at finance committee level.
By KMC. Serious findings. For instance, you have 1/6 payments not retired. Date is 7th of August 2019. Of this amount, 180,000 explained balance of 291,826. Nothing was done. You agree? Yes.
And with the former acting finance director result. Actually, I don't have access to that report.
See, it was already it was raised and resolved. You would agree that the money was recovered. That is what we mean by resolved. Not just general statements, proof.
Late is a member, Karim Dabo is a member, Kajali Jane, the deputy CEO, Nima Kamara, director of planning and development, Jenaba Sande, office of the clerk.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you want to have it admitted? We can have it admitted and then you can go in.
Yes.
Is it? So many financial, but no action. There is no proof for most of it. Most of it. It goes in thin air.
No.
Yeah, many financial malpractices that are really, really, really serious. But see, we can't have meeting minutes of the finance. The date is 27th of January 2022. Into evidence as an exhibit.
The finance reference is KMC/FCM/2022 evidence, and it is marked as LGC/KC/KMC/011.
Please proceed.
So I read captured in the reports who were said to be appointed. We should also be looked into. The deputy CEO said the administration. So the chairman says it is important that no matter what relationship they have, they report to schools for at least 6 months to meet the qualifications. Then a training should be conducted for them to upgrade themselves. The chairman are not based on merits to be listed by the director of admin. Appointment Committee. A member also raised the fact that audit and compliance for them to engage the Establishment and Appointment Committee has stated in the meeting.
Before that?
Yes.
So that everyone understands the issue. There were appointments that were
Have incomplete establishment register.
Yes.
So all those things were highlighted in these audit reports.
Yes.
Financial dealing, but our attention was drawn to some of these issues. We advised the CEO and...
Let me see the letter. That regardless of the relationship, the appointment should be done based on merit. Correct? Agreed?
Yes.
The audit. Is that the issue of procurement said they should look at the quality of materials and not quantity of support, forwarded and gave their technical advice. The chairman said, who is the chairman by the way?
I'm the chairperson.
The chairman said it is...
Lot of names.
Do you have the list?
I think it is highlighted in this. Actually, I just, because if you are working in an institution, our colleagues to get to a certain level,
yes,
we advise them to upgrade themselves. That was identified.
Yes.
Was Senabu Martin Sonko.
Yes.
The staff date of retirement is not highlighted.
Yes.
You have Musa.
Yes.
And then his current position, Kaba Damfa.
Yes.
Both staff qualification, current position, to retire is not there.
Yes.
And then his department is highlighted, courthouse.
Yes.
You have Samba.
Jenaba Sajo?
Huh?
Jenaba Sajo or Job?
Jenaba Job.
Job, okay.
Yeah, Jenaba Sajo.
Sajo, okay.
Mama Ture.
Yes.
Kadi Kanyi. Fatou Diba. Bubanjai. Kadi Diba.
Adama Fati.
Adama Fati, Keba Kande, Ibrahim Sane, Umar Bojan, Landing Koli, Hatam, Mariam Obi Fall, Lamin Jajusi, Suleiman Bay, Lamin Dabo, Yusfa Mambure, Musa Sane, Abi Keda, Horeja, Neneba, Lamin Sise, Usman Mega, Aliu Keda, Bubambalo, Ismail Ashor, Fatumata Baro, Malan Duganda, Umar Sow, Fakeba Sise, Mariama Jen.
Is incomplete.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And then you have other sets of names that are clearly outlined. Correct?
Yes.
Yes, you can read just one page, 2 pages.
You have Miss Awafai.
Yes. The ones that do not have the qualification says page Annex 5.
Yes.
Where you have Fatou Boja. These are the ones, that's the 8 where you have Fatou Boja.
Yes, Fatou Boja.
Yes.
Mimi Kurubale.
Yes.
Sanjali Kanyi. Yes.
They have no qualification whatsoever.
Yes, most of these people highlighted here, they were not appointed during our time.
Most of it.
Yes.
And the date of application, and you go on, you will see Musa Sise, Yamanjai, you will see Khadijatu Sow. Yes. That is. No, I stand to be corrected.
Yeah, during that time we were in office.
Yes. As there were people that were appointed that were not qualified. And that's a fact.
We advised the management to act on it.
No. There were people appointed during your time that were not qualified.
In those positions.
I said to file. You had done before your time, Mr. Sisi. Let's be fair.
Yes.
Yeah, you have mentioned before your time. This is the only report. And before your time was given a managerial position, not qualified.
Yes, those.
Not the lapses now. I'm saying there were people appointed during your time that were not qualified. Is that a fact or it's not a fact?
Not qualified for that position.
So it's a fact.
Yes.
Good. That's
Yes.
your advice.
Yes.
Any other thing you want to add before we proceed?
No.
There were payments of allowances without authority on 106 of the 2019 audit report. Is $46,150. It says all collections made by the accounting staff should. You understand that? I had a further comment to say that these were and bank reconciliation statements as well. So we have page council's bank statements. Necessary adjustments made to the respective financial. The list goes on. You have deposits and not posted in the cash books, negative cash and bank balances. So part of the findings were that the auditor requested for your limits for the council properties.
Yes,
It is
that we have.
yes.
Time, and then some are up to 2022.
What I mean, is it complete? Has it all the necessary?
Specified there.
I see here ceiling fans, air condition.
But some of even our head, since we came, we engaged our line with the Department of Physical Planning for all these properties to be under the name of the council. This was since 20.
Whilst it is being checked by, do you have these agreements?
Yes, key of this agreement is one of them, but all these key of all these list properties are not during our time, and then our committees we have on their names. Most especially the Backwater Shopping Center. We are trying to see how best to get us to the council, whilst we are also looking for him. And then we stop him not for the interference. I think up to date,
I believe that the council has a right to know your documents, documented properly, because these are properties listed here. What we see is table that they are leasing. So you must be able, why you should say that you do not have, because and there is procedure and protocol. Leave and is supposed to be above the law. Is that not correct?
yes.
Yes. I think it's a convenient point.
Since last year, this is what I have.
Now, did you do a survey when you people came?
We are trying to gather all these MOUs.
Yes.
And recently, I'm not more part of the fine. Yes.
Because you need to sanitize your asset register. Anybody that wants to do business with any ministry, a clear picture of what your assets are.
Yes.
Right?
Like I mentioned, there are just like key of the assets.
Sorry?
I mean key of the assets. We don't have.
And this is what will give you leverage, I presume, when you are doing any transaction.
And related matters. May I remind you once again that you are still on the oath before I hand you over to.
Mr. Cisse, good afternoon.
Yeah, afternoon, ma'am.
1, 2.
As the places. Have you discharged until we need you again?
Yes, I don't have any document.
For all of it, except, let me give you this copy to take a look. That you have, and vehicles you maintain, is that an exhaustive list?
Yes. No, not everything.
Not everything.
Yes.
So please note that and provide us with respect to the assets you have.
Okay.
The fixed assets you have.
Giving me the opportunities for the past 2 days to come here and then to serve as a witness. Okay.
And we note in some of your statements in the resolutions, council resolutions, so
okay.
that at the end of the day, all of you will work together to correct what is wrong.
We have another witness.
Good afternoon, Mr. Witness. Your faith.
Christian.
Thank you. The Bible will make an affirmation.
No.
Do you? Okay, hold the Bible and then repeat after me. So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you. You may be kindly seated. Madam Chair, the witness is sworn. I have the honor to hand over the witness to for us to proceed. Thank you.
Good afternoon, commissioners. Good afternoon, Mr.
23.
23.
23.
23.
Wow. Okay.
So your tax you have the response. This is the very statement.
You go by
Very statement.
You go by the contents of to tender the statement of the witness, Mr. Peter May. The witness, Mr. Peter May.
The witness statement dated the 11th of September 2024/001.
As the commission pleases. Mr. Mendy.
Back from M.
Wow, I attended St. Teresa's Primary from 1991.
You have an option to change and speak the language.
Change. I can go ahead with English.
I want you to change. You have to change if you want to change. It's okay. It's okay. You can make a mistake. Just take us through. But well, what was your highest? Stated that you've been providing development to your ward.
Yes, that's the truth.
Briefly.
Wow, si gatal man development ma def fofu nonu ñun bi ñoy ñew as a councilor.
To make it short, normally when we came to council and we started after taking oath, what we were informed was that there was
between 2019 towards 2020 again on Doron 9.
You see, Kololi is a big word.
Now on about the developments, we will get. Give me, if you can remember, the developments made at your ward.
Wow, moy go to feeder road say, then football ko.
We backfill the football
field
at Kotu and to
Wow, juromi ward la ñu dé dama dé mëna job liggéey ak ñom tamit pour ñu jappalante su féké né ñom am nañ ay li nga xam ne xëy na moom lañ dugg soo amee moto sax doo mën a àgg sa biir kër.
But my concentration highly based on Kotu side because really we all know Kotu have a problem sometimes. And normally, as I said earlier on, the football field there is water.
Wow, da nga gis ne yooyu laa gën a concentrate.
Again, the compounds, the properties that were located in
the football field bi fii Senegambia.
One of them
tourism board
is Spy Bar around Senegambia, and of which I have tried.
Da nga gis ne Kotu man amoon naa challenges mooy da nga gis ne area bi fii ñu nekkoon suma
some of them are absent for studies, so this is my challenge.
Right. Do you have activity reports of all of this?
Nena léegi liggéey yi nga xam ne wax nga ko wala yokkute yi nga xam
ko xam Kotu bu baax loolu moom def naa ko.
Mr. Mendy, I'm not saying.
Like mooy lépp li nga xam ne yow sa boppa def nga ko. Day am loo xam ne da nga ko dee record mooy report pour nga bindee ko wane ne lii laa def pour mooy report wala records. And for the geology, anytime you make a request, the comments, if needed, then I will be given time. If I am given time, then I can provide them.
Yes, you'll be provided with a pen and a paper.
Yeah. Accounts subcommittee.
An establishment committee.
Establishment.
Okay, we will start with the establishment committee. Where you have
the establishment committee.
I was just a member, and then the accounts committee member active at the council.
Yeah, it was one of the committees active in council.
Taxut ta nekk ay challenges say na numa ko nga wara jubanti nit o nga jël it.
But much more, I can't say much more challenges, but as we all know, any society or any group, there.
Mr. Mendy, I understand that. That's why we are asking. We want to know if there were any challenges with that committee.
Moy lima wax rek moy ne so dinga gis ne waaye amoon nañ tamit ku nga xam ne am na ñi nga xam ne ñoo advice.
Yes, as I said earlier on, whenever we get the reports, comes to legal matters, we have a council who do advise us to say this is the appointment committee.
Wow.
Yes, I get the advice, but you just mentioned, and I agree with you that.
See, committee.
Staff say la tamit when it comes to pull employment da nga gis ne fofu non tamit dina de hala.
Yes, what are the difficulties in these appointments?
Challenges fa nek wala te fa nek dina moy lan ak lan.
Moy li ma wax rek moy qualifications.
When it comes to the qualifications of the
juromi at bi ma liggéey ak with this suma members yi.
But these 5
na ñew to conclusion ne waaw li la dañ mëna wéran
a concrete conclusion.
Okay, so how were these challenges addressed?
It's a big debate, or we agree with one another for a high, debate. Then we normally go for elections. So you have ne sabo pa ya wang kofi na nanda. Musna am wala def de heavy fufu. Lo ham ne nit na tahaw mu ne wa isuma mbokala wala ki ni ak
tonti. Nga seet tamit di nga mëna xam ne xeyna ci fukki nit.
The example is we all know sometimes 10 of them will come, they all apply, but now
little, if you can remember, since you said there are instances like that. So, can you give us a name?
Definitely, yen sen bopa
amé sen fin document yi way mëna joyé ben example bu nga xamné bu tam ñëw na
passed for sometimes I can't remember exactly the people or those who I could name, but
in my word
I take it from my word Kotu. We had
one. I was called
when and I was informed. Afternoon shift police was called and he came, he caught him and they
explain this particular incident.
And I
wasn't talking about your ward. I was talking about the appointment and establishment committee, Mrs. C, or their family, or there's some relationship.
Why for fly away?
Establish a committee ngamne bokanga moy establishment committee ak appointment committee kan nga
rek mo len lo dafa ñewon ci suñ committee.
Yes, briefly that incident have came to us.
At the whole incident,
and it was very complicated and it was difficult, but for me I was present. Later he was alleged that whatever was missing there is equivalent to $3 million.
$1.3 million.
$1.3 million.
Why man as man me taxaw ne ko fofu man tamit man ma ngi nekkon ci defense am because look
alleged of he did not did so or stole that.
Wow, you melni daf lay difficult pour nga make.
Nena yow Mr. Mendy.
Yes.
I think maybe for purposes of issue is council is asking you.
Nena wabe moye.
You said there has been some challenges in appointing people without qualification.
Nena wax nga
mané dinañ day jël té amuñ qualification.
I want to make it clear. I don't say they am without their qualification.
Wow.
What I said with
the appointment and establishment committee.
Waaw ñun dinañ def suñu recommendation.
Nena am nañ requirements.
ñu waaw dañ am seen requirements.
Yes,
we are asking a specific question.
Nena lede nena soko dege
5 years.
Nena yow bi nga fa nekké juroom
people that appeared before you.
Nena ñu xamné ñew na sa sen kanam fofu.
Yes. Do you have records of that?
Nena ba am nga records am na fiñ ko bindo am na records yu.
No, not me. Why the
number of people you have appointed during the course.
Ñaata nit ngeen employed ci course sa 5 years bi nga bindé ko.
As a member of the accounts subcommittee,
comme ni ma ko waxee ca doorin ba foofu moo expertise bi nga xam ne moom moo specialise on waaye kooku du daan faral di ñëw so ñaari yoon rek.
As I said earlier, and it happens there was an expertise who came there that I can remember we have those meetings.
And was chaired by the late Parliament Jiba.
And this was chaired by the late Parliament.
It's between around 2023 to 2022.
Account subcommittee was established in 2022?
No.
Do you remember how many of you?
Committee bi yeen ñaata la won?
No, xeyna man ki ma mëna fatale ko man company la nekk.
No, but
accountant or
the ones I can remember, that is myself. I mean, those that I can remember.
Because
this is why it doesn't last. Me committee bi nena bi nga gisee ne committee bi nekkul di dox yow sa bopp loo defoon.
Was this formal?
Nena da ngeen ko bindoon.
No, ci gaming because suñu la ooyee tamit nga war a dem foofu ne spend the whole day ba pare dara doxul.
This was informal because even if they call you there, you go there.
One day.
When
so you're being a member nga dem why su fekkee
will not be present, so you will stay there for in vain for the whole day.
Okay, if few of you get there and there is always an
exactly ñaata members like.
So
why suñu amee sort of a quorum.
Or it depends when the members appeared or if we have a quorum yet.
But there is quorum and there was an attendance list. Can you remember signing?
No.
Okay. So when you report to your...
We will take it to the right point, that is the mayor, and we will be called for a meeting.
Après moom moo nekkoon chair bi.
Après
main problème bi tamit xëy na ëpp doole.
nee na moom dafa mel ni moom kenn dara du xew si moom.
Okay, now the question is, did you try or you or any of the members could not do anything about it?
lu waral lu tax ngeen taxaw ndax da ngeen ko di def wala déet waaye soo demee ba gis am lan ngeen defoon after that.
waaw xam nga dox.
At council we have the CEO and we have other officers, management officers, but some of them they know. So I see what I realize there is for me a free.
Chair will be on you. You've been going. You will speak to the chair. That's the whole point.
Léegi laajte bi mooy jóge nga kololi def nga pass yéene nga sa own xaalis nga def ko pass nga dem di ñëw placement and appointment committee.
Okay, and leave.
Amut njëriñ ci yow.
Or it's not important to would I say?
Tamide am na seen reason. Waaye li ma wax rek mooy ne la ne CEO ba.
It's not taking up the committee as serious as the rest of the members of this committee. Something should have been done. And
yes.
I am telling you.
Nena li mota mo la yegal ne. So demé be nga gis ne committee bi dafa am njëriñ ci ñoom. Nena lan ngeen mujjé def wala lo warona def? Lan ngeen warona def?
Moy li ma wax rek mu ngi tombé tamit.
Make a change. You could have, right?
Nena be légui de wa wéci wala def lenen ka sa katan pour fofu mëna dox.
So now it's for you to agree with the fact that it's there, right? But the chairman is not doing what he.
Pour nga gis ne nga saaf sa nit ñi nga am ne ñoo la yóbbu foofu. Nee na waaye yow sa bopp dafa mel ni léegi dem nga be nga gis ne mbir mi nekkut di dootee am.
It will not be established to the CEO that you've lodged a complaint. You balance that, well, I was just elected and if they're not doing anything, nothing can.
Yow sa bopp gis nga ne mbir mi nekkut di dox te yow bokk nga dafa war a dox. Soo ne dañ ma taana ma ñëw toog foofu de dalir mo te ki nga xam ne mooy njiit bi mooy chairman bi fu mu ne nii moom.
Den ci njiit yi la foofu at the council. Because ñoom war nañoo xam ne li nekkul di dox.
Let's move to the next issue.
Nee na nañ dem ci kanam ci leneen.
Your
mbalit staff si ñuy liggéey mbalit.
On the establishment and appointment.
Nee na bokkuloo.
Project.
Yes.
Project.
Wow.
Project staff.
Yes.
Particular appointment. Was there any challenges?
Then I see appointment you na you tamit am nga ay challenges. Am ngeen wa ay challenges.
Then you vet len you go through lol ñun tam from fofu nonu tamit dinañ come with a fala man lola mëna fatale.
Yes, what I can remember is the committee have seated and we vet
subcommittee meetings when recommendations are done or problems are solved.
You have copies.
Okay, you can note it down. You can provide the
meeting see they am copies.
Served with a copy.
Okay, sorry. You can provide us. Yes, Mr. Mendy, members of project staff.
So said is that
the situation?
Nena nda mbir mi non la télé le fini non la ñoo xamné ñu jëri xalé liggéey kat yi ñi nga am na ñoo nekk ci project mbali
To the minutes of the committee.
dañ la laajte pour nga isi minutes yi moy yi ngeen dé def meetings yi nena ci kaw lolu tam.
In all these meetings you made recommendations to
nena
the CEO for him to do the need
making and to recommend why man just a member. Then it's in the hands of Nagal Tuati. I think they are in a better position in a program why the head of.
Who is the chair of this?
Habib.
So please write it down. We are requesting that you go there and ask them to produce to you. Thank you. When I ask a question, you kindly wait for the interpreter to interpret because as you're answering KMC.
Nena mba mom tam staff la ci KMC.
They did.
No. Nena mba neka na staff mom tam neka na staff ci project bi.
They did.
No. Ben bi moy.
You mentioned that you assigned your son Stanley Mendy to accompany the Mbalit truck.
Nena wax nga fi yow limal moy ay zone fu moto yi wara dem.
Why was that?
Nena lu taxone lolu.
Waaw li waralon
when we started and we have these new vehicles or lorries,
then divide Gohi, common feel judo, feel like
he was born here, brought up here.
Wednesday.
For those zones and for the Mbali trucks, were there no identified staff attached at those zones?
Why the reason why I do so, if I am have your own 4 people to join them with the vehicles or invalid.
Because sick la dafa febar ni way amna ka mu tok ci moto bi man ma gëna generate revenue.
A form of a competing system that everybody was trying for you to be the first person or the person who make
with 4 staff member of KMC?
Yes. Yes. No one of them di jëli mbalit.
Waaw. Foog naa ma bantuwaat mooy li ma doon wax rek mooy ne.
Go to here is Kololi. That's the only thing.
And he's the only pointer from your side. Revenue maximization, if I can call it. Was he having any sort of payment?
No.
It was done for free.
He was doing it for me.
So what happened to the staff that they attached to those wards for collection? Were they collecting the waste?
May I be guided by the question?
Wow.
Yes.
Your zone, do they do that?
Area and
Wow. Prefer to collect waste in the tourism industry and get paid for their service.
Yes, I want to make that portion clear.
So gisee ma ne tourist industrial area bi.
When I say the Senegambia.
Staff si nekk ci moto bi nag ñoom ñu ngi seet because ñoom based on their commission.
That is my reasons.
Yes, before you proceed, you've talked about commission.
Mënuma fàttale ko waaye amoon na mënuma fàttale ko dafa des ci ñoom lañ ko.
Please note and provide.
It had happens, so I can note ko provide you the amount of commission they receive.
Thank you. And for those collections that you're maximizing revenue, do you get paid for it?
No.
No.
You only receive commission.
No.
You were summoned by the Lord Mayor, Talib Ahmed Bensouda, and the Deputy Mayor.
By then, I guess before you contract Ecotech.
Before.
Books, tickets. Munga ko jay in advance. Based on your calculate.
Yes, these tickets you can be able to advance before the trucks will arrive to make collections.
So boba jamono da nga gis ne lolu mo fa nek. So bi ma samone dañ ne dafa am ticket yu manki.
When I was summoned, I was informed that
so mané len ñu check. Bu gaay checké bi gaay calculate.
I then told them because they said my son was present therein.
Man mané dina jël the full responsibility to pay your control truck.
I paid and I said to the KMC, now let them take responsibility to take
bin bu mag bi
the big bill.
$20.
Yes, the big one is 20.
Big one $40. $40 of rice being $10.
A 50 kilo bag of rice of rubbish is $10.
So you lolo soko amé.
If you have that,
so you need tickets in advance.
When you have ticket or issue ticket in advance,
based on that you go tickets.
And the bins will be calculated and the ticket will be issued. This is how it was. So let's get the ticket.
What is the process? When they take the bins out, so it is the clients that will give the collector the ticket.
Yes.
Yes, there is a secretary. So what normally the
then when they come back to collect Mr. X's trash, they are giving back the ticket.
The responsibility to pay the guy
yes, ma. That can be possible.
To serve as a pointer. Informing me about the revenue ticket books being supplied.
They said
the revenue ticket books being supplied.
They said
Lee books more monkey.
Where some of the
books more monkey.
Where some of the
Mr. Mendy, how old?
Around between 21, 22.
At the time he was collecting as a pointer. He was just a pointer. He was a pointer. He was just a pointer. He was just serving as a pointer.
Yes.
That was back in 2018.
Yes.
Okay.
Nena wax nga ne ticket yi dang ko de jëka jaay su moto yi ñëwé koku ki nga xam ne jënd na ticket bi mu daldi isi ticket bi délo ko gaay.
Think to just pay the $60,000.
Nena lu ko jaaxal li nga lu mu bëgg pour mu leer mooy bu nga waxee ne dañ la wax bu nga waxee ne dañ la wax are told to take these books to council and they are told to take these books to council and they are told that this is the told that this is the
books.
Yes, they do report, but normally we have a secretary. Yes, they do report, but normally we have a secretary who always receives the said books. Who always receives the said books.
Okay. Okay. All under your